It did. It was a bit like that. We live in Dunsandel and we thought, gosh, what a great idea to have a little cafe down the road and we could nip down and have a coffee. And it sort of snowballed from there.
You've made a name for yourself in 8 years for your food. Where does the inspiration come from for the food?
I think we just wanted some really simple food that was very well cooked and using great ingredients, and it was food that you might have loved your mama to have cooked, whether your mama was Italian, French, Chinese or Kiwi. So there are a lot of different influences, but I think we've always stressed good fresh ingredients and very simple recipes. Yeah.
Of course, you're licensed, so you're able to tie that in as well.
Yeah, so we're licensed, and we also, down the road, we make apple juice and cider. So the store is now a great place to sell all the products we make down at Camler Farm. Yeah.
I was going to talk about that because it's a wee bit of cottage industry, but you've got your own outlet, which is rather nice.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. So people that come to the store now sort of automatically associate it with apple juice and cider, and so we sell quite a lot of that. And during harvest times we have sort of harvest parties, and so it all works quite well. There's a lot of synergy.
It's got a lovely overseas or sort of whole world type atmosphere to everything you're doing.
Yeah. I think when we first opened, there really weren't a lot of little cafes that you could go to. I mean, that was 8 years ago. Now it's quite different, and I think we've drawn on a lot of the best from Europe and Australia and put it all together, and the staff are great to work with, so it's all lots of different elements.
And now there's a book called A Year's Worth. What was the inspiration?
There's a book. Well, the book really came about again a bit like the store. It was, why don't we write a cookbook? I think, one evening when you have too many ciders, these ideas come up. And so the co-author, Sam Mannering, he had a year off. He's a budding thespian, and he just ran with the idea, and he really was the one that put it all together. And we started in September 2009, and I remember saying to him, Sam, do you think you can have it ready by Christmas, meaning Christmas 3 months away? And he said, yeah, no problem. But the project sort of grew and grew and grew, and so it's just been published really almost a year after the idea came to fruition. Yeah.
But it's an interesting thing because there's so many different aspects to it. There's little hints, and there's fun, and there's dogs and a cat. Yeah.
So I like to feel that it really does reflect the store, which has I think quite a lot of quirkiness, and so we enjoyed putting all these odd bits in, and how to kill a hare and how to cook a hare, and
you've unravelled a confit of duck.
Yes. In fact, I've got lots of vintage duck fat in my chiller here that I think some of it is dated 2007, and it still seems to be fine. I actually don't know. I think one day I must throw it out, but it's sort of there as a bit of a memento of something. I don't know quite what.
There's one chapter that caught my eye called Pies, Tarts and Farts, which intrigued me totally.
Yeah, I said to Sam, do you think we ought to put this in? This is meant to be a good, clean family cookbook. But farts were actually an Elizabethan sort of, that's Elizabeth I, going back to the 17th century. They were actually a sort of fritter, a bit like Spanish churros, and so we make those for functions and things and sprinkle them with icing sugar.
So where to from here? I mean, pretty much the same?
Yeah, I think so. The cookbook was a huge amount of work. I mean, we had a lot of fun doing it, but it really was a lot of work. So I think now we're just busy selling it, and that's gone really well, and so we'll just continue trucking along, I suppose.
And it isn't time for Christmas.